Hi guys, so I just want to give an update about the New Jersey governor race. Mikey Sherrill, she won the Democratic primary election in June 10, 2025, with 93% of the votes counted. She had 34.0% of the votes, so she basically won. Over 267,000 people voted for her. For Baraka, he had over 160,000 people vote for him, 20.4%. Steve Fulop had over 124 votes voted for him, 15.9, and then the rest. Josh Karheimer got 11.8%, over 92,000 people voted for him. Sean Spiller, surprisingly, got over 84,000 votes, 10.7%. The reason why I say surprising because he's not someone I thought was that well known. Steve Sweeney, not surprising, was at the bottom of the list. At the bottom of the list, over 56,000 votes, 7.2%. He's not very well liked. It's mainly, if I'm not mistaken, from what I researched, it's mainly the southern New Jerseyans who might like Steve Sweeney. I think he still is part of the Iron Workers Union, so that's I think a big reason why. But I'm not surprised he had the lowest votes. He also lost in I think it was a state assembly position to a trucker who was very Trumpy. So he lost some guy who loved Trump. That guy also lost his position. Not Democrat took over. It's not Steve Sweeney, but it's interesting that he lost the legislature position to a guy who was like a nobody. Because people were just getting tired of him, from what I understood in New Jersey. Um, so in total, over 786,000 people voted. Keep in mind, New Jersey, there are millions of people who are registered voters. There are more registered Democrats than Republicans, if I'm not mistaken. There are also a lot of registered independents, so their votes can go either way, depending on the scenario. So not that many people voted, which is expected in a primary. Unfortunately, people, even now with the whole Trump situation going with the ICE raids and threatening to arrest Governor Newsom of Cali, even all of that, people still barely vote. Primary election is where you get your voice. Mike and Cheryl, the problem is she's kind of like another Kamala, like Kamala 2.0. She's more of a light Republican. She might do some incremental positive changes, but nothing big. She's not as progressive as Barack or Fuller. But if you can see here, the problem is the people wanted Barack or Fuller with splitting votes. And maybe if Fuller, which I think is what he should have done, should have just endorsed Barack and told everyone who would normally vote for him, just go hardcore vote for Barack. Yes, he would be more the popular choice. And he could just support him, endorse him, maybe work in his administration a bit, do something together. But I think because they were competing with each other, that's what happened. That's my opinion. Because most people who voted for Fulop would have voted for Baraka if Fulop maybe endorsed Baraka as he was a more popular choice. They could have done vice versa, but I think that's what should have done. So not really surprising result. The APAC were really preferring Cheryl. The NC prefer Cheryl. Uh, some more labor unions prefer Cheryl. So she was definitely the main choice, even though she's pretty light Republican, moderate at best. I'll argue she's leaning more right wing, while Baraka and Fulop were leaning more left wing, like left leaning, so left wing. But that's the results. Now, this one's not really surprising thing at all. Jack Chiarelli got almost 68% of the votes. Over 308,000 people voted for him. Not surprised. It was endorsed by Trump. He won the Republican primary election like the last, I think, two times also. And I've read that this Bill guy, I think he's just a radio host in some radio station. I think 1.5, something like that. So for him to get this many votes is still decently impressive. And then you have other people who were like nobodies, but they still got this amount of votes. But less Republicans voted during the primary, which is also typical. In general, people don't vote much in the primary. They just don't take it seriously. There are millions of people who could have voted. Not even a million voted. With the millions of registered Democrats. So they definitely didn't have an excuse. But she won. She was expected to win, especially with the splitting vote between Barack and Fulop, and that helped her out tremendously. And this is just another article. This one was from New York Times, and this is just the most updated information right now as of June 11, 2025. This is from June 10, 2025. updated almost at 10 p.m. They just talk about how Cheryl won and Cherelli won also on the Republican side. This was not really a surprise. I think many of us were expecting, especially Jack to win. If Jack lost, I would be in shock because I don't see anyone else had a chance based on the research I did and how he won basically the last time, the last two times too, as in the primary. So it would be really surprising if he lost. If he lost, then I think the Democrats side will won pretty easily. At least this and easy in the general election. Now that he won, that's gonna be a tough election. Cheryl is not someone who's really progressive. She's very moderate. Again, Kamala 2.0. She's not even at Tim Walz level. Never mind Brock and Fulop. So just keep that in mind. That I still recommend in the general essence to vote for Cheryl. She will still be better than Jack for the state of New Jersey. She has way more experience as a politician. She's been in Congress for a while. Even though she's more federal government knowledge, not as much New Jersey knowledge, she still would be a better option than Jack. Jack doesn't. All he would do is just kiss Trump's ass, get rid of a lot of benefit, cut a lot of funding for the people who need it the most, people who are really suffering financially. So people who are really struggling, people on disability, people on SNAP, or people using the state resources for to keep afloat financially speaking and keep getting their healthcare. You should got a way to vote for Cheryl and not for Jack. You will regret it if you don't. Every Republican governor in all the states have done a horrific job, like horrible job for the people who need the help the most. They do a great job to help the rich and the wealthy in the state. They do what Trump does, but at the state level already. But once it comes to the lowest income households, the people who really need the most help, they get screwed the most every single time by Republican governor and state legislatures. Happens every single time. This is just always a cycle, and people just never learn. You can look up in states like Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, etc. Florida too. It's taxes. Like it's so obvious what the Republicans do to the people who need the help the most, the lowest income households, the people who really need those disability benefits, the people who really need those internal state resources, and they cut those funding all the time. And other programs like we owe, among other stuff that people rely on so they can get job resources. Look, with the federal government, they got rid of Job Corps. They do the same thing at the state level with those type of programs. When they have Republican take over the governor position, and especially even more so when the Republicans take over the state legislative positions, like state assembly, state senate. That's why it matters voting. In the primary elections, the time we can get rid of a lot of these moderates and have more progressive. So we have more higher uh, positive changes and not just minor changes and then they mess up in other things. But people didn't vote that much. There are millions of registered Democrats in New Jersey that didn't vote. So we can't complain in the general election in November because it didn't get someone more progressive. You had a chance. New Jersey is one of the states that make it super easy to vote. Now, if a Republican takes over, they might make it harder to vote again, as they normally do. They do voter suppression, like gerrymandering to screw people, etc. Not saying Democrats don't do gerrymandering, but voter suppression is especially a tool utilized by Republicans heavily, and that's why they keep winning in a lot of states, even when they're getting close to losing. So keep that in mind when it comes to voting. Every vote matters, local, state, federal level. If you don't take the primary seriously, don't bitch and whine when you have at best a moderate who's not going to really do major changes in the general election. You had a choice. You don't go out and vote. Can't really complain later. And the people who didn't vote at all, I especially don't want to hear them. Like if when you don't even vote at all, like not even the general election, you can even not complain who wins. Those people are ignored completely. You had an option. That was in November 2024 election. And Kamala got, I think, almost 6 million less votes than Biden, around 5, 6 million. Those people who have voted will make a big difference. There will be still at least 89 million people didn't vote. You guys gonna make a difference. If people keep forgetting it's just a president, you could vote at least more. You got rid of Republicans in the Congress. You guys didn't do crap, so don't complain if you don't vote. That's on you and no one else but you. But that's basically it. They just talked about GOP, which is the Republican side, and this was expected. And that's really it for today. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. If you guys gonna vote in the November general election 2025 of New Jersey. And if you do, who are you gonna vote for and why? I can give many reasons based on the research why I think Jack would be much worse than Cheryl. But and there are plenty of resources and statistics on that. But we can discuss and see how it goes. I will do the same thing in New York election, South Carolina. It's not really a problem for me. We can have discussions. And if you like the video, if you like this video, like and subscribe. If you're watching this TikTok, follow us on TikTok. And if you want to be part of my Patreon, patrons only have to spend about $1 a month just to show support. And there's a $3 tier for exclusive content. I'm working on that. That will specifically put stuff only for the exclusive content of $3. But $1 just to support me for the month. I'm not part of the YouTube partnership thing. I don't have enough subs for that. And ever since I got that warning from trying to make a Luigi Mangione video, I they're not even showing if they say I'm not eligible at all. So it is what it is. But it's up to you guys if you want to support me or not as a patron. Up to you. But I hope that this video was useful to you and that everyone has a good and safe day.